The first Elizabethan era was known as the Golden Age. Elizabeth I ruled for 45 years, from 1558 to 1603. She brought this about having survived her mother's execution, her half-sister's jealousy, her cousin Mary's plotting, and the antagonism of Europe's great Catholic powers. The Elizabethan age is famous for a number of reasons: the defeat of the Spanish Armada, great poetry. It was called the Golden Age, and she was known as Gloriana. It was a time England grew in wealth, status, and culture. And it was all led by Elizabeth I, who had inherited a virtually bankrupt state. But she introduced frugal policies and cleared the regime of debt by 1574. 10 years down the line, the crown enjoyed a surplus of £300,000. Her reign was also known for its voyages of discovery. These expeditions prepared England for an age of colonization and trade expansion, something Elizabeth herself recognized by establishing the East India Company in 1599. The arts also flourished during her reign. Theatres thrived. The Queen attended the first performance of Shakespeare's A Midsummer Night's Dream. The image of Elizabeth's reign is one of triumph and success. Next, we have Queen Victoria, the matriarch of the British Empire. During her 63-year reign, she presided over the social and industrial transformation of Britain. During her reign, she had expanded the British Empire so much that by the end of the century, it would cover a fifth of the world's surface. She was proclaimed the Empress of India in 1877 and was the first British monarch to live in the Buckingham Palace. Apart from ruling far-off lands, she wielded a different kind of influence closer to home. She was fondly called the grandmother of Europe. This because she was related to nearly all the ruling houses on the continent, either through her own relatives or her children's marriages. At her death, it was said that Britain had an empire on which the sun never set. It was also during Victoria's reign that the modern idea of a constitutional monarch, whose role was to remain above political parties, began to evolve. Which brings us to Queen Elizabeth II. She steered the monarchy from the world of aristocracy and deference through social liberation and onward into a new millennium. Her coronation in 1953 was the first to be televised, and in 1976 she became Britain's first monarch to send an email. Over the last 2 years, she even attended meetings via Zoom calls. Even as the world changed around her, she remained a steady influence. Like the North Star in the night sky, she was a fixed point, something the British public sought comfort in. Even as the British Empire collapsed and transitioned into a commonwealth, the Queen oversaw a period where democracies and republics flourished.
See? You can't see them at the end.
The 20th century saw monarchs across Europe deposed or exiled, but she remained ever popular.
Charge your glasses and join me in a toast to Her Majesty the Queen. The Queen.
Thank you, Mr. Prime Minister of Canada, for making me feel so old.
Why so? Many have attributed it to the unofficial motto of the royal family, which is, never complain, never explain. An attitude which allowed her to mold herself into a blank slate, onto whom onlookers could project anything.
Come back, boys.
But as the UK enters a period of mourning, there will follow a period of deep introspection. Today's Britain is filled with divisions. While the late Queen ruled over 14 countries of the British Commonwealth, where she was head of state, some of those countries have decided that the future British monarch will not be their head of state. Over the last 70 years, Queen Elizabeth has served as a bridge between the past and the present. But as her son, King Charles III, takes the throne, the question is, will he succeed in keeping the monarchy relevant? Something the late Queen was exceptionally good at. Bureau Report, WION World is One.